Hi everyone, my name is Emma Milchman. I am a junior at Robbinsville High School, and this is my third season on FTC 14020 Nemesis Prime. Before COVID and quarantine, a couple of my teammates and I had been doing CAD lessons for surrounding FTC teams. So since that's not possible right now because of COVID, I decided to come on here and make a couple lessons or a couple of videos to kind of help you guys pick up the basics of CAD using ONSHAPE software. And here you can see a quick overview of what these videos are really going to look like. So feel free to jump around or follow in order. But with that, let's get started. Okay, welcome everyone to the final video. So right here, I'm just showing you that I'm going back into the first rail that we made, and I'm adding 2 holes to the side for our axles. These are going to be 5 millimeters, and I didn't do them in the beginning because I wanted to show you that after you create an assembly, if you go back in and change those pieces, it will update in the assembly, so we're going to see that in a minute. So I changed the circles to 5 millimeters, and I'm making them 1/4 of an inch off the bottom. This is something that you can play around with, and it's going to depend on like the size of your wheels and etc. But 1/2 an inch works for me. So that's what I'm just doing here. Now from the sides, this is something that you can really make whatever you want until you go back in and add the wheels and see how far apart you need them. Or you can do it mathematically, which is probably the way you're going to do it for your robot. But again, this is just an example, so I'm just throwing in a number of 3.3, and we'll see when I get there. So I'm going to go ahead and extrude these circles, remembering to remove since I'm not adding material. And then I'm going to show you that when you go back to assembly, you can actually see all of these updates that were made. And that's pretty neat because you can kind of go back if you make any mistakes, and it will update with the part. So the next step is going to be to actually import these axles and wheels. So you're going to go down to that plus where we created new projects, but you're going to hit import. It might take a second, and then you're going to select whatever file you want. You can't see it, but I selected the file that I had saved to my computer, and I'm just accepting it into the piece. And then when you go to import new pieces, it'll be there. You can see I already did that wheel, so that's there too. You can really get these from wherever you like. You're just going to need to make sure they're files that the software will allow. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 4 axles and 4 wheels. Now, when you're actually putting together a chassis like this, of course you're going to need shaft collars and spacers, etc. But for the simplicity of this CAD, they're not really needed. You can just offset things to allow for those spaces. So I'm not going to put in shaft collars or anything, but obviously when you're really building it, those will be there, so you need to account for space. So now that I've got these, I can go ahead and start adding them in. Just like we did the first 2, I'm going to go ahead and do a slider mate. These types of mates can be very frustrating. They're not necessarily difficult. You're just grabbing the center of the axle and then grabbing the center of the wheel, but it can definitely cause some frustration because they are circular and there's a lot of little parts to those wheels. So that's definitely something that you're going to need to not get used to, but you're going to need to just maybe take a step back and try again, because I know I plenty of times grab a wrong piece and have to start over, and it just can get very frustrating. So I'm going to go around and do all my axles first. So I did a slider mate, and now I'm doing a planar mate. You can really offset by whatever you need, by whatever spacers you plan on using. I'm just offsetting by 1 inch, which you can see here, and I'm just going to go around and do this to all 4 sides. You'll see when I'm doing the mates, it's going to make the assembly a little wonky. Things are going to get thrown off, but once you check it off and it goes back to normal, everything should go back to the way it was. And if it doesn't, you've got some sort of mistake in there, and if you check on your left column, you'll probably find some sort of error for then you to have to go in and fix. So now I'm just flipping to the other side and I'm going to finish off these last two axles. So now it's time to attach the wheels. We're going to have to start off by grouping two wheels together. So you'll notice when I move one part of the wheel, the rubber around the wheel itself will move without it, which obviously we don't want. We need those things to stay together. So there's a grouping tool, just like there's kind of a tool for everything. So you can either highlight your two parts, but be careful to not add anything from anything else. Or you can just select the grouping tool and then select the two pieces individually, which is probably a lot easier. So now is time to actually add the wheel. So we're going to go ahead and grab a slider mate, and the same way we attach the axle to the rail, we're going to attach the axle to the wheel. When grabbing the center of the wheel, you can look for the inside of the wheel, but there's not normally going to be an easy way to find that because of all the points around it. So typically if you select the rubber, that will have a center point, and that will allow you to find the center of the wheel. It's a little bit hard to explain, but you'll definitely see it when you're doing it. For anyone following along, you kind of just need to hover your mouse around wherever you can to look for it. Like you'll see me in these clips moving around a lot, just kind of moving my mouse on and off of pieces. It might take a little bit of time in the beginning, but the more you do, the better you'll get at it. Once we have the slider mate, we're going to go grab a planer mate. So once again, you can just kind of grab any part of that face of the wheel, rubber, tire, whatever you really want. And then you're going to grab the side of the rail and do an offset. Again, this offset is going to be based on what type of spacers and shaft collars you choose to put in. I'm just going to do an offset of an inch to show space, but this is really going to depend on your robot and how you want to do this. So now that we've got one done, it's time to do the last three. Okay, so now that we've got our wheels on, we can kind of see that they're overlapping. But like I mentioned before, whenever we have pieces in assembly, we can go back to those individual part studios and make edits, and it will update in the assembly. So I'm going to go back to that rail that I made the holes in and separate the holes. So I'm just going to look in this finder real quick on the left for the correct sketch to edit, and then I'm going to go ahead and change the distance that these holes were from the edge. Originally they were 3.3 inches, so I'll probably just change them to 3, which will balance out enough for this. And then we'll hope that it updates in the assembly and everything is working correctly. So now as we head back to assembly, you can see our wheels are separate and perfect the way they are. So guys, this is going to be the end of the piece. Now you can, obviously you would go from here and obviously put in more of a robot than just 4 rails, a couple wheels, a couple axles, and a belly pan. But for now, I hope this helped you guys kind of pick up the basics of CAD, specifically using them on OnShape. And I hope this helped you guys kind of get a feel for the software. If you need to, you can go back to any of the videos and kind of go through the skills again and see them later as you're doing your CADs to reference. I hope these videos helped you guys, and thank you so much for watching.